Hello everybody, I am Tom, and you are watching me play Vampyr. Last time we went on a side mission and spent ages walking around looking for someone, and I had some issues recording. But today, we're back to using Shadowplay, so I should have better video footage. And I also know where I'm going, so I could run there immediately and continue the story. Yeah, Milton, this is the guy we talked to last time. But we need to go to the morgue, which is at the back. So I actually probably should have run the other way, but I think I can run through here. And should take me like directly out there. So that's the front of the morgue, but we have to go around this way to get into the back, because that's where we have the key to get in. Right here. That's an ominous sound. I'm sure it only means good things. The old morgue. I hear what sound like skulls. But I don't know if that's atmospheric sound or actual skulls. I guess I can have a look. There's blood. So there's like blood underneath. Definitely creepy. That's the front door, I presume. Yeah, this is the front desk, obviously. It's weird to me that they wouldn't be using the morgue anymore. Right? So that's not blood, that's just, it used to be red, it's been painted over. There's no obvious signs of like a skull here. So if they're gonna come, they're gonna try and jump scare me, so I'll just deal with that when it comes, eh? I can't go downstairs, presumably...
It's locked, all right.
I need some kind of key. Is there anything... I'm gonna search all these places just to look for loot, obviously. Like these shillings. Well worth it. Yeah, I was seeing something shine here, but I think it's just a light going off that very reflective metal. So upstairs we go, I suppose. Okay, so there's skulls here.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Interesting. Is that just running faster because these people are vampires? I guess perhaps. I didn't mean to do that, but okay. So find some ferrous tartrate, find some quinine, find some sodium hydrochlorite, and find a key to the morgue basement. Okay. Pretty much all the things I was looking for anyway. I can't go in this door, apparently. This one's locked. A lot of blood. Is this blood? Yes. Just say there's a lot of blood here. I can hear more vampires, but presumably this is the quinine. Okay. So they're all actually marked straight on the map, so it should be actually very easy to find all these things. Alcohol.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Cool, but it's strange that it's there in the first place. I wonder if it's a key... Ferrous tartrate. Oh, hello. I'm getting watery, sturdy blood samples, which I needed for a bunch of things.
It's locked.
Okay, so my key doesn't open that, it just opens the basement. Just thought I would check. Did I not search this room? Apparently I didn't search this room.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Okay. So I've got all the ingredients I needed. Presumably it wants me to just go down to the basement now, but I'm not going to. Also, I forgot to start my timer. I'm gonna make the assumption that I've been recording for like 5 minutes. Watery rich blood samples. Interesting. So they're just better blood samples? From a more powerful vampire or something, I suppose? I don't know. Intriguing. So another vampire, clearly. Who's faster at getting out of my line of sight than I would have otherwise liked. There's a bunch of skulls down here. Cool, it's one gone.
These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
I really like Blood Spear. It does its job fairly well. I saw there was a third one, okay, but he's like over there. So what he said there was that they aren't after blood? I got distracted, so I didn't actually hear what he said. But I think he said that they're eating the corpses of animals, and as such he doesn't think they're after blood. Got some more quinine. That's something. The combat in this game is simple, if nothing else. Do I have a map of this place? No. Not specifically. I'm looking for some sodium hydrochlorate. Just avoided one of those vampires, I suppose. Oh, interesting. A new citizen investigation available. Press tab to open the local investigations menu. So I've already done one of these. Citizen investigations. Citizen investigations are displayed here, categorized by districts. You can start with a new citizen quest by tracking it with left click, then access your map and locate the area to explore. Makes sense. So I've already done this one. Succeeded. The harder they fall, citizen quest. Find out the cause of death. I'll track it, sure. Involves Chloroquine Tippets and Gwyneth Pranigan? Interesting. Office of Pembroke Hospital Medical Examiner Report of Investigation. Decedent, Samuel Connor. Race, Caucasoid. Fair enough. I would have thought it would be Caucasian, but whatever. Sex, male, age 39. So 39 white male, named Samuel Connor. Home address, unknown. Occupation, fisherman. Type of death, natural. Probable cause of death, fast progressing pneumonia by virus-induced pulmonary consolidation. Spanish flu, okay. Examination attendees, Dr. Corrigan Tippett, Nurse Gwyneth Barrett. Brannigan. I keep saying, like, Banrigan, but that's not wrong, it's Brannigan. Name and signature of medical examiner, Dr. Corrigan Tippett.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Interesting. Use Lister knife. You can find a new type of hand weapon. Equip it and press right trigger to directly absorb blood. Interesting. But does it have a stun chance? Probably not. I think drinking blood is probably better. Can I examine him? Probably kill the skull here first, but let's examine him.
Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
Consistent.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps?
You wouldn't get that with the flu, I don't think.
The chest was originally open to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then, he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Interesting. Interesting. Because, where were these in here? No, here. Here we go. Current medical error cost Mr. Connor his life. Okay. Whereas her I don't know as much about. I want to see if I can find more about them before I confront them about this. Because it makes me wonder, like the way he was saying that she was overqualified. Maybe he trusted her to try and do the procedure herself? I don't know. Strange. There should be a scowl here. Or not? So he was trying to get in here for some reason. Not immediately obvious why. Okay, so this is pretty much what I expected. I still need to find some sodium hydrochloride. Presumably this way. Well, that looks like a circle of blood. No scowls in here that I can sense. Except for this one. Is he making blood clones? Looks like he's making blood clones. I need more stamina. Hey, that's not good. I assume he's... I don't know if he's a strong skull. Can I heal? Yep, I can heal, good. I'm unsure if he's a strong skull or whether he is like a proper vampire. He's tough though. Alright, I'm pretty much dead. Could be my first death in Vampire here. Trying to get the knockdown here, but I'm not sure if I can. Nope. There goes death. My first death. Unfortunate, but this game saves often enough that I don't think it really matters, because I think it's just going to put me back in like this fight, probably. Ooh. Cool. It actually puts me fairly... So it keeps my progress, but it puts me back at the start of the level. Interesting. I'm just using this guy to get up to full blood again. I didn't seem to drop things the second time. I guess I'll kill this guy too. Okay, so they are still dropping shit. But this guy didn't? Okay, so they just have a chance to drop stuff. I think they guarantee drop stuff at the start, and then they have a chance to drop stuff later. Don't know, figure it out later. Alright, so the boss fight in here. I now have more blood than I did last time when I did this boss fight. Hey, you got the bite. Sword attacks are actually relatively hard to get off on him. He's fairly predictable in his movements though. Teleport behind. Oy. Didn't really teleport the way I wanted him to there. Alright, I got him.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Indeed. I think that's kind of the point.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Cool. Looking around here for clues is what I'm doing. Because I feel like this is the kind of place where I'll just find clues about people. Can't go into these back rooms by the look of it. Oh, I have a crafting table right here. Okay. I also want to do this. Gives me more cures. Cool. Watery rich blood sample gives me light blood serum. Regenerate 60 points of blood instantly. That's pretty good. A gotamine and opium. What is my current objective? I don't have one. That's arguably better, but I'll think about it later. Quests. Craft the treatment for fatigue. Cool. It stopped tracking that for some reason. Cool. Bring the medicine to Dorothy Crane in the patient's room. Okay. Easy enough. I can now pretty much just run out of here, I think. Because I killed all the skulls. Or not. Oh shit, I'm gonna die to a regular skull here. Did he kill me? Not quite. Here we go, heal. Alright, good, we got healing. Attack me, bitch. I was saying this combat was easy, but I'm now having trouble with it. I don't know whether or not I was just fighting lower level guys. Or I was just, I don't know, going badly for whatever reason. Whew. More skulls. I wonder if this is because I died. Perhaps. I could probably go out the front door, but... See, this guy's level 6, so he should be harder to beat, theoretically. Well, dodge right into attack there. I've got into my non-speaking mode. Whoa. Had the benefit there that the knockdown actually gave me all my stamina back, so that's something at least, I suppose. So level does make a huge difference here. Like even one level above me and they do significantly more damage. On the plus side, I think I can now leave pretty safely. So I think I'm going to finish this quest and also investigate the one with Dr. What's his name? Coritana Tippets? I can't remember his first name. Tippets, I believe is his surname though. So I'm going to do that investigation and then go give Dorothy Crane her stuff and then... yeah, this is... Yeah, Pembroke Crest Bowl, there we go. And then level up and I think that'll be the episode. But if I can find this nurse... she's not it. Pippa Hawkins is not it. Nope. Not something I'm interested in. This guy runs the black market. I think I showed him off last episode. The Indian guy. Well, I say Indian. He might be like Pakistani, I don't know. But he seems Indian. I can't remember his name specifically, but it sounded interesting. Someone I've never even seen the face of? I think that's new. So I need to talk to him eventually, but not yet. Yeah, I want to talk to her first.
This is no time for self-pity. It is the last thing our patients need.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Johnathan Reid, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Clearly why he's decided to bring me on and was so excited to have me here.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's.
Interesting.
He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Interesting. He's refused to stop working, so that may be why he made a mistake here. So I'm glad I talked to her first, because that's probably going to help me with this quite a lot. Because he's made this error probably because he's exhausted. Good to know, good to know. I'll come back to that.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Not entirely surprising. Hospital work is hard at the best of times. Trying to do hospital work when you're just overqualified. Interesting. When you're dealing with an epidemic at the same time, that must be particularly grueling.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps
Brilliant professionals.
most of them.
It would...
There we go. I was just skimming through that dialogue because we've heard it before.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
She's principled. Give her that. Okay. So personal questions. I'm going to start with this one.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Fair point. I'm gonna ask her about this error first, though.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I
Interesting.
could not let that happen.
So she
You
covered it
can't
up.
allow your emotions to dictate your conduct
Gwyneth has covered up to his medical error. Okay.
concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reid. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
I do understand what she did, but that doesn't make it like...
Perhaps you did it with the best intentions, Nurse Brannigan, but you took a great risk. Must I remind you that a man died?
You mean you've never made a mistake? Never covered your tracks? Come on, Doctor. I wasn't born yesterday.
Interesting. This because of hints. This one is still white for some reason.
I'm not familiar with all the stuff.
Brilliant.
It
would
So that's all done. And situation here.
not.
Alright. So this is still white for some reason. I assume I get another dialogue option there later.
Call me if you need assistance.
Alright, so I've learnt more about Tippett now, which is good. I think he's still out here. Here he is.
Surely I can endure another night.
I need this.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reid, any good news to share?
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think
Corcoran.
about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
He respects Nurse Brannigan.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Johnathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Good. So presumably I got that correct.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
It's fair enough. Will I, though?
I will cover for you, Dr. Tippett, by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make. I believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise. As soon as the epidemic is eradicated, I will resign.
Okay, I'm good with that. I'm good with that, I'm good with that. Coricon will resign as soon as the epidemic is eradicated. Cool. Very cool.
What will you do after your resignation? Do you have a plan?
I always fancied visiting Cyprus. Such a beautiful island. I could buy a house there by the sea. Read poetry and wait for death.
Interesting.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
I want to talk to the nurse again.
By this horrifying epidemic.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Nothing new.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Alright. So is that completed? We're also pretty much at time here, so that actually worked out fairly well. Succeeded. Cool. I want to know more about Milton. I think I'm going to have to talk to Pippa to learn that, but I think Pippa may be wanting to join the vampire hunters. So I'm not necessarily in a mood to try and talk to her yet, because that could go poorly. Honestly, the reason that I chose that option, I was in two minds. I was tempted to go talk to Swansea about it, but at the same time, how many doctors do they have in this place? Like 6, including me, who's a vampire doing my own research and not really helping any people. Like, kinda don't have a choice here. Where is... 30 meters this way, apparently.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, Nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Diseases decrease the blood quality of a assistant. Use the correct medicine to heal them. Speak to a patient in the room behind Dorothy to check his medical status. This guy? Oh, hello.
I'm all right.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Johnathan Reid. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reid? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
So she teaches like an etiquette class, I suppose. I won't do that one yet. Need hints for all these things.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived.
Fair enough.
But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Beatrice questions the Pembroke Hospital's efficiency. Yep.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She extorted? Saves beds for patients who can pay. So she's extorting people for beds. Interesting.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the
As
situation.
you would, yeah.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reid. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Indeed, it would not. It's entirely illegal, apart from anything else. Alright, so nothing yet.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Once again, this episode's going to go for like 40 to 50 minutes. I think
Good
these
evening.
episodes are going to be longer,
I'm Dr. Reid.
in general.
Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Press E to check the medical status of a citizen.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
F. He has fatigue. Sure, I'll give him some
You're
medicine.
not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Cool, he's recovering.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Dr. Reid is...
How painful is
So
Whoops. Back. Interesting.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Fair enough. Probably should have expected that.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reid. It's my mother.
I don't think I'm going to get anything out of him.
Sir, but don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen.
Alright.
As for me,
So I'm going to go... Citizen's Blood will provide you a massive XP boost. Look for Citizen's Mesmerize level... of your Mesmerize level or below and choose wisely. I'm not going to eat people. Well, I may eat some people, but they have to deserve it. I've decided, like, his character is too nice a character to just go eating people willy-nilly, unfortunately. I may do a playthrough at some point where I just murder everyone, but it really doesn't seem to fit. Is there anything else new in here? Probably not. I don't expect there to be.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
I need to be level 10 to get ultimates. So you can get, what? 4 times the blood? As natural predators, vampires have received some gifts from Mother Nature, like claws instead of fingernails. These natural weapons can easily cut through tissue and are very useful for piercing your prey's arteries. If you use your claws, you'll see humans differently, like soft and tender meat. I've only got 1750 experience. But how much does this take, blood-wise? 25, as opposed to my blood spear, which also takes 25. I think I'm gonna leave it and upgrade my blood spear, because I like blood spear, it's cool. Alright, so that's gonna be it for today. This is my way out of the hospital, so that's cool. So next time we're going to talk to Dr. Swansea, and we're probably also going to interrogate Pippa, I think. I think her name was Pippa? Yeah. Pippa Hawkins, yep. Who is Milton Hooks's girl. But she seems like not a very nice person. Although I really want to know what this hint is. Whatever. I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching.